He's got all the context. Go ahead.
Look, I mean, one of the questions, seriously, that people are asking about Trump's call essentially for a foreign government, or an invitation, more or less, for a foreign government to hack a presidential candidate, a Secretary of State. One of the people questions is this treasonous? Is this a treasonous action to call on such activity? I mean, how would you answer that?
Well, I'm not going to, as I think you know, Justin, I'm not going to respond to campaign rhetoric or to the comments that either candidate for President of the United States are making in their campaigns. It's just not appropriate from this podium. This specific matter that we're talking about is under investigation by the FBI. And we're going to respect that process. We're not going to comment on what is an ongoing investigation.
Would you comment more broadly on what it means for a U.S. citizen to call on a foreign government to spy on the U.S.?
I will let the candidates speak for themselves on the campaign trail, and let them speak to and answer for their comments as they, seek the presidency. That's for them to speak to. What I can tell you is that this department is out of politics and staying out of the politics. That's where the secretary's head squarely is, and his focus is on pursuing the foreign policy objectives of this administration. And I just, at the top, read out his meetings with the president of the Philippines today. And he's on his way back, and he had a very full and eventful trip out there, meeting with our ASEAN, but with ASEAN members. There's an awful lot for us to focus on, and what we're not going to focus on is rhetoric by either candidate for the presidency.
And just to be clear, to go back to how this all ended with Clinton, even though you're still doing your investigation,
It's not an investigation. It's an internal review. It's an administrative internal review. And as I said to Jinder, while it is underway, we aren't going to be providing frequent or routine updates on the progress.
Okay, but you've already made the determination that Secretary Clinton's email was never hacked by a foreign government, correct?
I'm not going to talk about cybersecurity issues here from the podium, and I'm not going to characterize the work of the reviewers that are doing this process. But the process itself is aimed at determining the degree to which information was classified at the time and therefore transmitted, and examining issues of accountability for any transmission of sensitive or classified information.
And if foreign governments did hack into her email, that would be considered spying, correct?
I am not an expert on cyber espionage. I mean, so look, I would point you back to what the FBI director, but the FBI director addressed this issue.
I'm just asking a basic question. If they were hacking into her email, that would be spying, right?
There are attacks on U.S. government cyber accounts and networks every day. There are almost every federal agency is under that threat every single day. It's something we take very, very seriously. And people try to gain access to it for a number of reasons. And not all of those reasons are espionage. Are some of the motivations espionage? Well, I certainly couldn't rule that out. But you're asking me a hypothetical situation that it's impossible for me to answer. What the motivation is of a given hacker.
It depends on the motivation.
It depends on the motivation. It depends on the organization behind it and the purpose for it. Could it be cyber espionage? Absolutely, it could be. But I'm just in no position to judge.
Can I just one small clarification? Sorry for that. Trump a few hours ago at a news conference down south said that he didn't know if it is Russia, if it is China, or if it's a hacker with an IQ of 200 who has done this. And one of the major media outlet, the U.S. media, has said, quoted intelligence officials that they believe that it's Russia. So will you be able to, confirm or deny if you have anything on that?
No, as I said, this is a matter that the FBI is investigating, and I'm not going to get ahead of the work that investigators have to do. And so I think that's where we absolutely need to leave it.